So today I'm going to talk to you about what's the best camera to have as far as being someone that travels all the time and you pretty much blog on YouTube. I mean, you talk more than you show action or any scenery or whatever because you're trying to convey a message. My blog, which is not this channel, but my other one that has to do with my job, I pretty much talk the whole time. I mix in some B footage, more dash cam than anything else. But when it's me talking, it's just me in front of the camera, basically what I call a talking head. And so the question to ask yourself, well, what's the best camera? I mean, does it really matter? Well, like I've said in the beginning of this channel, is you want to be able to have the least amount of hassle as possible. You don't want all the extra pieces. You don't want to wait long periods of time to try to transfer files over to a phone or a tablet or computer. And editing is probably going to be pretty minimal when you're out here on the road because you just don't have the time as a truck driver to be, doing hours and hours of video editing, and really you need to get that first take right the first time with the least amount of stuff involved. So, all I can really do is tell you what I think the best camera is for me. It could be different for anybody. And, price does kind of factor into this. For the longest time, I wanted one of those Sony mirrorless cameras. Yeah, you can pick them up for maybe hundreds of dollars, four or $500, $600. But the one that you would actually need to do a really great job, if you wanted to, have your blog, have your best quality, have your options and everything, you're probably going to be spending about $2,000. Yeah, you can get away with something that's 12, 1300, but I looked that over and I decided, you know, I'm just gonna go with a cheaper camera for one main reason, because I want 2 4K cameras and I didn't wanna spend $4,000. And so I found the camera that I use, which is the Insta360 Ace Pro. Yeah, I know they have the new Ace Pro 2 out, but this camera's plenty fine, and I've got a couple of them now, so I'll be using them for a while. But for me, this is the best camera. I could use one of these other cameras and maybe get pretty close to, not being as hassled. I know that the GoPro I had, that was terrible. A lot of corrupted files, a lot of the app didn't work, and the file transfer. Well, usually I just got fed up with it and took the card out and just transferred it like that. But this camera here, for two of them, I paid under $1,000 for 2 cameras that have 4K. They have great battery life. They have all the options I want, and, it's been really low hassle. I bought a few accessories with it. I bought, I don't know if they call it's not really a selfie stick. I guess it's like a combination selfie stick, um, tripod. It's got a few cool things. You can pull this little claw out here and hang it on fences and things like that. Um Overall, this has been a really good thing. I usually hold it like this for it to be as steady as it can be, and, well, it's been really good for me. I use a shotgun mic with an adapter on it, so that because these are really wide angle lenses, and I don't want the microphone to be seen in the shot, so I had to get an adapter to fit that kinda puts it way out here on the side. Um, One of the things about that saved me a lot of time is the fact that I get good audio, like, right out the gate. I usually process it a little, but overall, it's just fine the way it is. But this camera here, it's good for a couple other reasons when it comes to, like, what I do as a truck driver. When I put this on the side of the truck, like, on the steps on the outside and drive with it, there's a lot of movement, a lot of vibration, and that kind of thing. The stability is really good. I've been able to get some really good shots of just attaching it to the steps and driving around the yard or even down the road. Um, I've dropped it a few times. I know that one of the biggest worries is this lens. This particular model, you actually have to send it in to get this lens replaced. Although I've heard that some people have been able to get it off and replace it, but the new one, the Ace Pro 2, I guess the lens is replaceable. They fixed that. But I've had both these cameras. I've dropped them. A lot of things have happened, and not even a scratch, either camera. I think the other thing that was a big complaint from people was they thought that this little flip up screen here was going to be something that would break. This has actually been extremely good. I just learned today that if you were to open this 34 times a day, every single day for the next 2 years, it should last that long. The Ace Pro, I think that's 25,000 times you would open it in 4 years. I open this up maybe once a day, twice. Um, the new Ace Pro 2, it can be opened 50,000 times. You know you're not gonna be opening and closing this that much, so that's pretty strong. And as far as dropping it, again, I've dropped it, and it's still on there on both cameras. So, I haven't had any issues with that at all. I think one of the biggest things for me is being able to get the adapter and be able to plug an external mic in. I do have the wireless mics. They're what are they called? They're the Rode Go 2. They're the first one. They have new ones out now, but these are 2 different mics, and then you have a receiver transmitter thing here on the that goes on the camera, and, you know, it works really well. I mean, I have the cold shoe here. I bought that extra, which is a whole piece that actually goes all the way from the bottom around, and then another piece that goes on here, and that's worked really well. But I find the shotgun mic works much better. Again, back to that low hassle thing. I don't have to charge the shotgun mic. Um, you know, it's just one piece. It's not three different pieces. This you have a receiver and then you have two transmitters. Granted, you could just wear one. That doesn't seem like a lot, but a lot of hassle there. So, like I said, another good thing about this thing is that I can plug in something and just have it as one piece, one audio, one video all together. And I just leave it like that. Brings the hassle way down. The transfer of files, extremely fast. I transfer the files over to my phone and I usually render them out right there on the phone. And then I take those and I take them onto my computer and I do my editing. But overall, it's pretty quick. I think it's like 37, I think it averages around 37, 38 megabits a second. Or is it megabytes? No matter. So far, it's the fastest what I've seen. My GoPro wasn't that fast, although it was a few models back, so maybe they've done better now. But as far as the app goes, that goes with this Insta360 app, it's got a lot of cool features on it that they're kind of tricks a little bit. Some of the stuff, like you can change the sky or you can, you know, um, do some, well, I got one where I'm standing there and it looks like the camera is circling around me and it has all these different scenes. I'll put it on here so you can take a look at it. But I mean, little trick things like this. Um, also, this little watch thing here, it's a GPS remote, which is pretty cool because it goes with this. And basically, what I see on this screen here, whatever I'm pointing at, I can see it here on the watch, and I can play it, I can stop it, I can erase, I can do whatever, I can do everything I can do on here. It's exactly the same thing you're going to see on this screen here. Also, it'll do an overlay of like speed, um, I don't know what all, elevation, uh, different things like that. Things that I don't really use. I mean, I guess I could use it in the truck, but personally, I'm not really into that. But, like I said, this is what I like, and it may be different for you. I personally wanted two of these because I wanted two different cameras that had the exact same footage or 4K, because every camera looks a little different. Some have lighter, or darker colors or lighter colors, or one will be clearer than the other. And I just didn't want that because sometimes I do it to where I have multicam recordings where I'll have like the camera over here and I'll talk to this camera and then I'll talk to this camera and then I'll go back to this one. And so when I do multicam editing, I can go through on the computer and just switch whatever scene I want, and it syncs them right together. Well, like I said, I didn't want to spend $4,000 on the camera I really wanted, which was the Sony mirrorless, And I thought, for under $1,000 to get two 4K cameras, that they do great. I mean, they do really well. So I don't really have an issue with that at all. There is a lot of cool features on this thing, probably more than I'd be able to explain right now. But for example, I'll have to go through the list because I can't remember them all. But you have an HDR photo, you have your normal photos, video, which the video, it will do all kinds of different resolutions, 4K, 2K, 1080. I think it'll even go lower than that, but I don't know why you'd want to. Also, one of the cool things about this camera, if you want to do like shorts, let's say you wanted to do like YouTube shorts or TikTok or something, you can turn it and it automatically, well, I got to actually be on the mode. It'll automatically switch. Yeah, I was on the right mode. It'll automatically switch, you see there, to this is what you'd call 9:16 mode. And, you know, turn it back over, it's automatically in the 16:9. There's other aspect ratios that you can do, 4:3, 1:1. You might want to do 1:1 because you're doing Instagram or something like that. And so they got a lot of cool features when it comes to that. Um, it's primarily a 4K camera, but it's also an 8K camera. It's a little misleading because you would think, well, why would I want to shoot 8K? I mean, you can't even watch that on YouTube. Most people don't have an 8K display. Why would that be anything? Well, for me, and I think for a lot of people, it's not about shooting an 8K footage or 8K format to get, clear footage. What it is that this camera here, when you zoom in, you can zoom in two times. It will take and it will still be 4K quality. Because see, when you normally zoom in on a photo or a video, the quality drops every more and more you zoom in. Well, what happens is when you zoom in two times on this, it shoots it in 8K. So basically, it brings it down to 4K, which is what I'm originally shooting at in the first place. Pretty cool feature considering that, excuse me, considering that it's really an action camera. So it's a really wide view. And so if I wanted to get the mountain that's off in the distance here, it's not going to get it real well. It's going to look like it's miles and miles and miles away when I'm actually right in front of it. And so to get two times zoom, I mean, it gets a little better. Mostly I just like it for up close, like when I'm holding the camera and or I'm just doing something, like the wheel on the truck or something driving by. Um, I like that because I don't want to lose quality and have it look very pixelated. But one of the top reasons I got this camera was the low light capabilities. In low light, like right now, I have no lights, no studio lights. It's right now it's 7:30 in the evening, and it looks pretty light because it has what's called pure video mode. In pure video mode, it will really gather the light in. And if you notice in the back, it's dark. It's not all pixelated. One of the things I noticed with the GoPro was that I'd get pixelation here in the back, and I just didn't like that at all. Um, it has a lot of other features too. I don't know if you'd really be into it, but free frame video. Free frame's actually pretty cool. The thing about free frame is that when you take a video after the fact, you're all done shooting the video, when you go in to edit the video, you can change it into a 4:3 or a 9:16, which is, like I said, tall, like you're going to do a YouTube short, or you can switch it into a 1:1 or any aspect ratio you want, really. Well, you can't do that with normal video. If you try to do that with normal video, you'll end up cropping. Like, for instance, if you wanted to do it into a square, it would probably cut, you know, probably top my head off. This thing, when it's in this free frame video, it will get everything you see on here. You can see, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it really well, but you can see that it has it like it's the whole thing's like a plus sign. So I mean, you can see every aspect ratio what you're going to have, and there's no cropping involved. It's just automatically you can do all that, so it's pretty cool. The other thing is that it'll do 4K, 120 frames a second. Normally that's for like sports and that kind of thing. I mean, obviously, you're vlogging, you're really going to be doing a lot of fast paced stuff. Probably not. But there is one good thing about that. And that is if you want to take, let's say, I'm looking at this highway out here and there's these vehicles going by. I want to get a time lapse or not a time lapse. Let's say after the fact, I want to take and speed that up. Or maybe I'm driving the truck and I have it mounted in the window and I want to speed that up. Well, fast forward motion looks much better when you have more frames per second. You can actually speed it up faster by having more frames per second. Most of the time, I do 30 frames a second, and when I speed my video up, it doesn't look that good. But for vlogging purposes, I mean, everybody's pretty happy with it. I don't really say, but you do have that feature if you want it. I don't remember what time shift did, but I do know what time lapse does. Time lapse, basically, it will tell you how many seconds of actual video is being recorded. So after like a minute or so, it'll say like 1 second of video, then 2 seconds and 3 seconds and so on. And so I can have it mounted and drive down the road and I can have time lapse happening like that. You could use this as a dash cam, but I mean, it has really nothing to do with what I'm promoting here, which is having less hassle, a good all around camera, and be able to vlog on YouTube and just, have good quality without a lot of hassle. Um, Slow motion. There's been a few things I wanted to do with slow motion. Not really a feature I use, but it has it. Star Lapse. Star Lapse is actually pretty cool, and I've been meaning to get one, but I haven't got around to it yet. Basically, you point this thing at the sky, and it will it's basically a time lapse of the stars going through the sky. And I've seen video, and it's really cool. It might be something that you'd be interested in. Of course, it takes pictures. Um, I think it's 12 megapixel. Um, Goodness, I should have looked before I started. 12 megapixel, or you have, I think it was 44. Gosh, I don't remember. Quite a bit more. Is it HDR? Okay, maybe 12 and then 9. Um, it actually takes really good photos. Okay, 48 megapixel. Okay, so you can do 48 megapixels, but if you want to do HDR, then it drops it down to 9 megapixels. And then, yeah, so everything else in between. So, I mean, these are just a few of the things. Pure video, I pretty much always use pure video. That's what I'm using right now. The other thing I'm using is um, basically it is horizon lock. So it knows where the horizon is all the time. So if you turn the camera, I mean, you're not spinning it around or anything, but if you're in the middle of vlogging and you like lean over or do something, I mean, it will keep it straight because it knows where the horizon is. I like that mode. I use it most of the time. Um, if I'm not using that, then I'm using the 8K because I have it uh, zoomed in 2 times. Usually because when I vlog, I'm pretty close because I want people to pay attention to what I'm saying and I don't want them distracted with what's going on behind me. One of the things I use with the camera, um, I use this little diopter here, and basically it's like a magnifier. I think this is 2 times magnification, and basically through Etsy store, I think it is. I had there was somebody that they did a 3D printing of this piece here. Actually, I'll show you of this piece here, where you can actually put it in there and then put it on the camera, and so use it that. And so basically, when I use that on the camera, it will blur the background and it will focus in on my face. And then that way, when you're trying to get a message across to people, they're paying attention to you because they're just seeing you. Trust me, I have had videos in the past where even with this on, I did a video once and, where I live at, there's a lot of wild turkeys. There was some wild turkeys way, way out in the field. And I saw it on the video when I was editing it, and I thought, "You can't even tell what that is." I know what that is because we have lots of turkeys where I live at. It's nothing to see 100, 200 turkeys out in the field. And a couple turkeys ran to the back, didn't think anything. Like the third comment in on my YouTube channel, they go, "Oh, those wild turkeys?" And I'm like, "How did you know those were wild turkeys? Were you even listening to what I was saying?" I don't know. I don't think I'm that aware, but this person was pretty sharp and they were on it. But anyway, all joking aside, whatever camera works best for you is the camera. I mean, most people are using this, and there's no doubt that whether it be Android or Apple, Samsung, whatever, they've got some of the best cameras. They got multiple cameras. They've got, zoom cameras, wide angle, regular, high megapixel. They are good. But one of the problems with the phone is that it's very unsteady. I mean, I get they have some stabilization, but it's nothing like a camera like this. For me to use this for videos, I'd have to be very still. And the form factor of trying to hold this thing, you know, out in front of me would be kind of a hassle. It may save some time, because it's already on the phone and you can just edit it right there and upload it. But overall, the phone is not my friend when it comes to blogging or making YouTube videos. But it may work just fine for you. Like I said, it's whatever camera you feel comfortable with. I think the Sony mirrorless is probably one of your best. It's lightweight, good battery life, has all the features. But if you want them all with all the features, you're going to pay, probably over $2,000 if you're going to get a good one. So I think these were like, they may have been on sale for three something, but I think they're like $400. You'll have to look and see, but I'll put a link in the description. And yeah, and in my video, in my description, a lot of these things I put in, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but they're like affiliate links. So I would get something out of it. It wouldn't cost you anything extra. Nothing different happens. So any links you see in the description, go ahead and click on that. I'll put the camera. I'll put my Rode shotgun mic, selfie stick, all the different things. I'll put them in there. And if anything, you could just do your own research and check them out. And hey, as always, like, subscribe, and I appreciate you watching the video. So I'll catch you guys next time.